Hi guys, it's Leo with One Happy Widow here, and I'm just back. I've been on a hiatus, and there's been lots of different reasons why, and so I'm just gonna kind of go over how things have been going with us and what's been happening, and just to let you know that I'm committed to coming back and making videos on a regular basis, and just kind of explain why the break and what's been going on, all that good stuff. I'm sitting here right now. I am not wearing any makeup. I haven't really fixed my hair, and I don't have one of my special shirts on. My background is my husband's new desk in his office that he still hasn't set up. And that has been one of the reasons why I have hesitated to make videos. So it's kind of a long string of things. First, we were moving. We were selling our house, which was very stressful. We bought a new house, which was also very stressful. And we moved over the summer. So a lot of stressful stuff. I did a video of the house after we moved out, and I wanted to do a little tour of that and post it. But then I wanted to come right back after that and do a tour of the new house. But to be honest, we've been here for over 2 months, and there's crap everywhere. There's still boxes everywhere. We haven't unpacked everything. And to be honest, I have felt a little bit like a hypocrite. You know, I've been really stressed. I've had some dark days, and I think my grief has resurfaced in a little bit of different ways, and maybe it's not grief, maybe it's just some depression that's been coming on, and not laying in the bed all day depression, but just having some rough times. I have had some dark days, and it's been a little bit hard for me to get back out of it like I used to, and I felt a little bit like the person who was teaching my first weight loss class, and when I was in it, I noticed every week that she was getting a little bigger and a little bigger and a little bigger, and she's over here gaining weight because she wasn't following the program properly, but she's teaching us how to lose. It's also kind of like if you're in recovery, and the person who's leading your recovery of whatever type of addiction it might be is relapsing, but yet they're coming to the meetings and leading you and telling you what you need to be doing, and yet they're not doing what they're telling you to do. So I felt a little bit like a hypocrite on that. I haven't felt much like One Happy Widow very often. And so on top of that, I haven't been taking very good care of myself, and so my skin is breaking out, and I've gained weight, and I don't like to see myself on the camera, and my real camera equipment is still packed up somewhere, and I haven't edited in so long that I don't even know if I remember how to do it, so I got to teach myself how to do it over again. And it's all these things, and they're not really reasons, they're excuses is what they are, and I have a bunch of them. and it's really been bothering me because I know that there's people in my Facebook group and people on the comments who have said, "Where have you been? We miss your videos," and I have just felt like I wasn't worthy to make one because I haven't felt like I had any good advice to give, or the advice that I was giving, I was saying it out of one side of my mouth and I was not following it, in my real life. And so we go to church every Sunday, and the last few sermons that we've heard, I'm not trying to preach to you guys, but the last few sermons that we've heard they've really hit home, and given me that message. And one of the messages that I got was, first of all, he said, when you're in a dark place, turn the light on. Sometimes it's the most simple message, right, that will just hit you and say, wow. And I had felt like I'd been in a dark place, and I thought what he meant, the way I took it was, I need to turn my light on. I need to turn the light on for myself. I need to help myself. I need to give myself the support that I need to get out of that dark place so that I can move forward. And so I decided to really try to make a concerted effort to get back in this, and I have really dropped the ball. And so I tried to find ways to motivate myself to get back into it. I'm working on a few collaborations with a few other people who do the same kind of thing that I do. One person has a really popular podcast that she does, and she's widowed, and she helps other widowed people. Another person has a blog and a website, and another person has a website and Facebook group. And so I've been kind of collaborating with people because I feel like I would excuse myself and let my own self down, but I won't let other people down. So if I set up something with someone to make a plan to collaborate or have a project with them or do a video or an interview or something like that, I will show up. If it was just me, I've been telling myself, every week, I'm gonna make a video this week. I'm gonna make a video this week. I'm gonna make a video this week. And another week goes by, and another week goes by, and another week goes by, and I just haven't, I just keep putting it off. And you know, the longer you get away from something, the harder it is to get back to it. So it's been like 3+ months, and I've only done one video. And I'm embarrassed, and I'm ashamed of myself. And you know, it's just been hard. It's been hard to come back and face me dropping the ball and all the reasons behind it. But anyway, and then we had another sermon that our preacher was talking to us about, and he was mentioning, you know, like this past week in my life has been so hard, and he admitted to us that he came to the church and he couldn't even pray. And I looked at him and I thought, gosh, a preacher who's telling us that he's so down that he can't even pray, and he's the pastor of our church. And the first thing that I did was really feel for him, because I thought, how bad must it be that you're a pastor and you can't pray? And my second thought was, how brave of him, you know, to stand up in front of us and to admit that he's a human and that he struggles. He was man enough to admit to us, you know, about that. And that really kind of got my wheels turning. And about myself, I thought, well, you know, I don't have to be one happy widow every single day to make a video and encourage other people to try to find their purpose or their joy in life. And then just this morning, we went to church at the new church, and the preacher said, if you want to impress people, share your successes. If you want to impact people, then share your failures. And I started thinking about that, and I thought, I don't have to stand up here and tell you about all the ways that I'm moving forward in my life and conquering this grief monster that's hanging on my back. I can share my hard times with you and my struggles with you, you know, and my shortcomings with you. And when I spoke to one of the bloggers that I've been collaborating with, we've got a plan to do a couple of cool projects, and she said, girl, just get up there. And I explained everything. She said, get up there in your next video and tell your viewers exactly what you just told me. She said, that's what they want to hear. You know, you're a real person, they'll relate to that, and they'll be able to understand because they're going through it like you are every single day. And so all these messages are coming from different directions to me to kind of encourage me that even though I'm not really leading by the best example for all of you guys and gals and ladies and men, but you know, I don't claim to have all the answers. I never have claimed to have all the answers. I felt like I was, you know, doing okay, and had made some strides, and I wanted to share my experiences with all of you, but and a lot of them were, I felt like, successes and things that I could be proud of. But you know, I've also had setbacks, and I've shared those with you, and I've had some pretty big ones in the last couple months. And you know, it's mostly just family dynamics. You know, blending a family with his and hers kids and stuff, moving and all that stuff. It's really tough, and it's taken its toll on me. You know, some of the things that I had set in place didn't really fall into place like I had hoped. And you know, we also moved from a brand new house to an older house, 17, 18 years old. And as soon as we moved in, we had to pay $4,000 to get rid of all the rats that were in the attic and the squirrels, and have it all the insulation pushed through. So that was something we weren't expecting. We had to have the place painted because it was really old paint, and that was expensive. We found out there was radon in the basement, so we had to have that mitigated. That's expensive. Within the first 2 weeks of moving in, our basement flooded, and supposedly is the first time that's ever happened. I don't know if that's true or not, but we had to deal with that. Almost everything that could happen in an older home sort of kind of happened right as we moved in. So it's been a little tough. And, I've had some issues with my kids. And JP has had some issues with his kids. And I've had some issues with his kids. And my kids have had some issues with him. And, that's partly due to grief, but I think mostly it's just due to blending a family, and having step kids and step parents and trying to put your family together when, you're a blended family. So, and I think all of the things that have happened to me in the last couple months are not directly related to grief, but I do think that the grief makes it, I guess, maybe more difficult to handle the regular stuff, because you've already got that veil of loss, sadness, anxiety, memories, triggers that bring stuff up and stir up old memories and things like that, and make everything else that you deal with in life just a little bit harder to deal with. People who have not lost a spouse, I don't think can understand how that works. So it's not just about your grief, right? It's about handling all the other things in life on top of being widowed. And so it just adds an extra layer of crap. It just sprinkles a little bit of crap on every little thing, that every little problem in your life is a little sprinkled with an extra little dash, of grief. And so it makes it a little bit harder to deal with. I haven't felt very confident lately. I haven't felt very strong lately, about having power over my own life or over my own decisions. And, I don't really know why. I can't really explain everything why. I think it was just kind of like a lot of stuff that was sort of, piled on top of me kind of at the same time. And, I did not have like a mental breakdown or anything like that. I've just been struggling, when before I felt like I was kind of like, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm conquering this, like grief doesn't have me. I felt like I was staying 3 steps ahead of grief, and it might try to catch me every once in a while, just run a little faster. And I just maybe feel like that I got a little bogged down, and maybe grief caught up to me a little more than it normally does, and maybe kind of grabbed a hold of me and a little more tightly than it normally does. And I've just had some moments. So like I said, nothing specific. It's not like I didn't get divorced and I didn't have any other big losses, and I didn't have any kind of huge financial issues or anything like that. It's just general, I think I just been in a down place. And I know that I keep telling people that me doing these videos and doing the Facebook group and doing the One Happy Widow thing is like my therapy. And so if it truly is my therapy, then guess what I haven't been doing for the last 3 months? I haven't been going to my therapy. Like, I haven't been doing my videos. I haven't been getting fed off of the successes of others or the inspiring of others, or when I read those comments from you guys, and I see the comments under the videos, and I read the comments in this from the Facebook page, and then I even have some people that just email me outright on my email and just say, hey, just want to let you know I ran across your YouTube channel. I don't even know how. I wasn't looking for you, just came across on my feed and I watched your video, and wow, it really connected with me, and thank you so much for what you do. And I'm not in it for accolades. It's just, it warms my heart to know that the pain that I've gone through and the struggles that I go through can at least let other people who are grieving to not feel so alone. To feel like, wow, okay, I'm not the only person who feels this way. There's other people out there who go through what I'm going through. And when you can relate to somebody on that level, it really does make you feel like, well, maybe there's hope out there. And I think that it's really hard to relate to people who are not widowed. They can, they can give you their sympathies and their prayers, and they pat you on the back and give you the bless your heart kind of speech or whatever, but in your mind you're like, well, they don't really know, they don't really understand. It's kind of nice to just be able to connect with other people who share the same type of loss. We all have experienced it in a different way, we all express it in a different way, but we do have something in common, that we've lost somebody that was a huge part of our life, and we've had to figure out how to live life without them. And so in that way, you know, we're all the same. And so I want to just let you know that I appreciate everyone who's been hanging in there waiting for a new video, and to let you know that I'm hard at work. I'm really, really busy. My new job, my old job that's now I'm back to, is has changed a little bit from the last year or two, and it's suddenly just a lot more busy. And I have a 45-minute commute each way, so it's an hour and a half of driving. So it has added a lot of time to my day. And I used to have a lot of more downtime that I could work on things that I can't work on now. And so I'm having to find little pieces of time that I can work on the One Happy Widow stuff while still maintaining this farm that we now have, and my children, and this new house, and this job, and you know, all the stuff of life. So anyway, I just want to let you know, thank you for hanging in there. Thank you for your support. And I appreciate everyone who's still on that Facebook and still watching the videos. And I've got some really good videos, I think, coming up with some inspiring messages that have inspired me. They're the reason, in my mind, they're the reason why I'm here right now making another video. And I didn't want to put it all into one big lump. So I wanted to give you guys, this is like I'm back, you know, and here we go again. And then I want to, on a more regular basis, get some new videos out, because I've had some, you know, some things go through my mind that I wanted to share with you. So watch out for those to come up in the next few weeks. And I guess until then, just thanks for hanging in there. And until next week, or 2 weeks, let's say, I guess we will see you next time. Bye.